What if the biggest career change of your lifetime is already happening while most people are still treating it like a future prediction? Imagine spending years building expertise in a profession, earning promotions, gaining experience, and becoming the person others rely on for answers. Then one day, a piece of software completes part of that work in a few seconds. Not because it works harder than you, not because it works longer hours, but because it processes information at a speed that humans simply cannot match. That possibility is no longer a distant idea. It is unfolding right now across industries around the world. Businesses of every size are experimenting with artificial intelligence, governments are studying its impact, and workers everywhere are asking the same question: what happens next?
And it's really gone is going exactly the other direction. And I think this, there's an interesting reminder in here, generally about how hard predictions are.
And in October this year,
AI is going to be pretty radical.
What do you think about AI replacing jobs, though? Because that's
People will lose jobs. Yeah. Many new jobs will be created, I think much better jobs.
More importantly, where do ordinary people fit into a future where machines can handle more and more tasks that once required human effort? In this video, we are going to explore what is really happening with artificial intelligence, why so many experts are paying attention to it, which jobs are already feeling the effects, what opportunities are emerging, and what the workplace could look like by the end of this decade. By the time we finish, you will have a much clearer understanding of whether AI is a threat, an opportunity, or something much more complicated. To understand why this moment feels so important, we need to zoom out and look at history. Every major technological breakthrough has changed the way people work. Hundreds of years ago, most jobs depended heavily on physical labor. Farming, manufacturing, transportation, and construction required enormous amounts of human effort. Then machines arrived and transformed production. Tasks that once took dozens of workers could suddenly be completed by a few people operating equipment. Many feared widespread unemployment. Some jobs disappeared, but entirely new industries emerged in their place.
Using the power of AI and helping you really get...
The same pattern appeared again when computers entered offices. Before computers became common, businesses relied on paper records, filing cabinets, typewriters, and countless manual processes. Many workers worried that computers would eliminate office jobs. Instead, computers changed how work was performed. Entire professions were created around software, information technology, digital communication, and data management. Then came the internet. Once again, predictions of disruption filled headlines. Traditional businesses faced challenges, but the internet unlocked opportunities that previous generations could never have imagined. Online commerce, digital marketing, social media management, remote work, content creation, app development, and countless other careers became possible because of connected technology. Now humanity is facing another turning point. But this one feels different for a simple reason. Previous waves of automation mainly targeted physical tasks or repetitive administrative work. Artificial intelligence is beginning to assist with activities that involve analysis, decision-making, communication, and problem-solving. In other words, technology is moving beyond replacing effort and into areas that once seemed uniquely human. Think about that for a moment. A machine lifting heavy boxes is one thing. A system drafting reports, answering questions, writing code, analyzing data, generating images, or helping make recommendations is something entirely different. That is why the conversation around AI feels so intense. People are not only asking whether machines can do physical work, they are asking whether machines can perform parts of intellectual work as well. And that brings us to what is happening right now. For years, discussions about AI often sounded like science fiction. Today, the evidence is visible almost everywhere. Customer service departments increasingly use AI tools to answer common questions. Many companies now allow automated systems to handle routine inquiries before a human representative becomes involved. This can reduce response times and lower operating costs. In marketing departments, professionals use AI to brainstorm ideas, generate drafts, analyze campaigns, and identify trends. Tasks that once required hours may now take minutes. That does not necessarily eliminate the need for human workers, but it changes what those workers spend their time doing. Software developers are also seeing dramatic changes. Coding assistants can suggest solutions, identify bugs, and accelerate development. Experienced programmers often describe these tools as productivity boosters. Instead of replacing developers entirely, they allow developers to complete certain tasks faster. However, if one worker becomes significantly more productive, businesses may eventually need fewer people to accomplish the same amount of work. Financial firms are experimenting with systems that can review large volumes of information, identify patterns, and assist with forecasting. Researchers can process massive datasets more efficiently. Analysts can generate insights faster than before. Healthcare offers another fascinating example. AI tools are being used to help detect patterns in medical images, organize records, and support clinical decision-making. Doctors remain essential, but technology is increasingly becoming part of the process. The important thing to understand is that AI is not arriving all at once. It is spreading gradually, task by task, department by department, industry by industry. That gradual shift can make the transformation harder to notice. Many people expect a dramatic overnight change. In reality, the impact often appears as small improvements, new software tools, and evolving workflows that slowly reshape entire professions. This is where concerns begin to grow. If technology can complete more tasks, what happens to the people who currently perform them? That question sits at the center of one of the biggest economic debates of our time. Some experts believe AI could create enormous productivity gains and economic growth. Others worry that millions of workers could face disruption as businesses automate increasing portions of their operations. The concern becomes even more significant when we look at white-collar professions. Historically, automation often affected physical labor first. Factory workers, manufacturing employees, and repetitive production roles experienced major changes. Today, many office workers are asking whether similar disruption could reach professional careers. Imagine a company that once needed 20 people to process information. If advanced software allows 10 people to complete the same workload, what happens to the remaining positions? Even if the technology does not completely replace workers, it may reduce demand for certain roles. That possibility has sparked intense discussions among economists, business leaders, educators, and policymakers. Some believe the labor market will adapt just as it has during previous technological revolutions. Others argue that AI may move so quickly that many workers could struggle to keep up. The truth is that nobody knows exactly how events will unfold. Predictions vary widely. Some forecasts suggest major job displacement. Others suggest that new opportunities will offset many losses. What most experts do agree on is that change is coming, and preparation matters. Let us make this more relatable with a realistic scenario. Imagine a marketing specialist named Sarah. She spends her days writing content, researching audiences, creating reports, and planning campaigns. A few years ago, many of these tasks required long hours of manual work. Then her company introduces advanced AI tools. At first, Sarah feels nervous. She reads headlines predicting job losses and wonders whether her career is at risk. But instead of ignoring the technology, she decides to learn it. She studies how the tools work. She discovers their strengths and weaknesses. She learns how to review AI-generated content, improve outputs, verify information, and create better strategies. Within months, Sarah becomes one of the most productive members of her team. She is no longer spending most of her day on repetitive tasks. Instead, she focuses on higher-level decisions, creative direction, and client relationships. The technology did not remove her value. It changed where her value came from. Now imagine another employee who refuses to learn the new tools. While everyone else becomes faster and more effective, that person continues working exactly as before. Over time, the gap widens. This example highlights an important reality. In many situations, the competition may not be humans versus AI. It may be people who understand AI versus people who do not. But before we assume everything will work out smoothly, we need to examine the other side of the story. Periods of technological change often create anxiety because the benefits and costs do not appear at the same time. New opportunities may eventually emerge, but workers facing immediate disruption can still experience real challenges. Learning new skills takes time. Career transitions can be difficult. Entire industries may evolve faster than expected. That is why adaptation matters so much. Now here is where the conversation becomes surprisingly optimistic. History shows that major technological breakthroughs often create jobs that were previously unimaginable. Before the internet existed, nobody dreamed of becoming a social media manager or app developer. Before personal computers became widespread, entire technology sectors simply did not exist. Artificial intelligence appears to be generating its own ecosystem of opportunities. Organizations increasingly need people who can train systems, evaluate outputs, manage data quality, oversee responsible usage, and bridge the gap between technical tools and real-world business needs. New specialties continue emerging as adoption grows. Companies need professionals who understand both human behavior and machine capabilities. They need experts who can identify risks, establish guidelines, and ensure that technology is used effectively. More importantly, many workplaces are moving toward collaboration rather than replacement. In these environments, AI handles routine tasks while humans focus on judgment, communication, leadership, creativity, ethics, and relationship building. Think of it like a calculator. Calculators did not eliminate mathematics. They changed how people approached mathematical work. Professionals still needed knowledge, understanding, and decision-making ability. The tool simply made certain calculations faster. AI may follow a similar path in many fields. Instead of replacing entire professions, it may automate portions of jobs while increasing the importance of uniquely human strengths. That naturally raises another question. Which careers appear most resilient in an AI-driven world? No job comes with absolute guarantees. Technology evolves constantly. However, certain categories seem more difficult to automate completely. Skilled trades are one example. Electricians, plumbers, mechanics, technicians, and similar professionals often work in unpredictable physical environments. Their jobs require hands-on problem-solving adaptability and real-world judgment. Automating these tasks entirely can be far more challenging than automating digital activities. Leadership roles also remain important. Organizations need people who can make strategic decisions, resolve conflicts, motivate teams, and navigate uncertainty. Data can inform decisions, but leadership involves human dynamics that software struggles to replicate. Healthcare professions that depend heavily on personal interaction may also retain significant demand. Patients often need empathy, reassurance, trust, and communication. Technology can assist medical professionals, but human connection remains valuable. Education provides another example. Information is abundant, yet teaching involves far more than delivering facts. Great educators inspire, mentor, guide, and adapt to individual needs. Those human elements remain difficult to automate fully. Creative direction is also worth mentioning. While AI can generate content, images, and ideas, determining what should be created and why often requires human vision. The ability to connect with audiences emotionally, understand cultural context, and craft meaningful experiences continues to matter. Notice a pattern emerging here. Many of the most resilient skills are deeply human. Communication, adaptability, emotional intelligence, leadership, creativity, critical thinking, ethical judgment, relationship building. Ironically, as technology becomes more powerful, these human capabilities may become even more valuable. Now let us pause for a quick recap. We have seen that artificial intelligence is already affecting workplaces. We have explored concerns about job disruption. We have discussed the possibility of new opportunities emerging alongside those changes. And we have identified several categories of skills that may remain highly valuable. The next question is simple. What should ordinary people actually do? This is where practical action becomes more useful than speculation. First, stay informed. You do not need to become a machine learning expert, but understanding the basics of AI can help you make better career decisions. Learn what the technology can do, what it cannot do, and how it is being used in your industry. Second, focus on adaptability. The modern workforce rewards people who continue learning. The ability to acquire new skills may become more important than any single skill itself. Third, identify repetitive tasks in your profession. If a task can be automated, learn how the automation works. Do not wait for change to surprise you. Become the person who understands the tools before everyone else. Fourth, strengthen human-centered abilities. Communication, collaboration, leadership, and problem-solving are valuable across industries. These skills often complement technology rather than compete directly with it. Fifth, think about how you can increase your value. Ask yourself a simple question. If software handles part of my current work, what higher-level contribution can I provide? The answer may reveal future opportunities. Let us look at one more realistic example. Meet David, a financial analyst. He notices that AI systems are becoming better at processing reports and identifying trends. Instead of viewing this as a threat, he decides to shift his focus. He spends less time gathering information and more time interpreting results, advising clients, and helping businesses make strategic decisions. A few years later, the technical side of analysis has become heavily automated. But David remains valuable because his expertise goes beyond producing numbers. He understands context. He communicates clearly. He helps people make informed decisions during uncertain situations. That distinction becomes critical. Information alone is not enough. People still need judgment. They still need trust. They still need guidance. They still need human understanding. As we approach the end of this discussion, it is important to recognize that the future is unlikely to be as simple as the most extreme headlines suggest. The story is not just about machines replacing people, it is also about people learning to work differently. Some roles may shrink, others may grow. Entirely new careers may appear. Industries may evolve in unexpected ways. What seems increasingly clear is that artificial intelligence will play a major role in shaping the economy over the coming years. Businesses that use it effectively may gain significant advantages. Workers who understand it may discover new opportunities. Those who ignore it completely could find adaptation more difficult. The future of work is not being decided by technology alone. It is being shaped by how individuals, companies, educators, and governments respond to that technology. So, will AI replace millions of jobs by 2030? It may automate many tasks. It may transform countless careers. It may reduce demand for certain roles while creating demand for others. The exact outcome remains uncertain. What is far more certain is that change is already underway. The people most likely to succeed are not necessarily the smartest, the most technical, or the most experienced. They may simply be the ones who remain curious, continue learning, and adapt when the world changes around them. The age of artificial intelligence is not a distant chapter waiting somewhere in the future. It is part of the present. Every month, new tools appear, new capabilities emerge, and new possibilities open up. The question is not whether the workplace will evolve. The question is how prepared you will be when it does. If there is one takeaway from everything we covered today, it is this. Do not focus all your energy on fearing the future. Focus on preparing for it. Learn, experiment, adapt. Build skills that complement technology rather than compete directly against it. The people who do that may discover that periods of disruption can also become periods of opportunity. If you found this video valuable, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe AI will create more jobs than it replaces? Or do you think the risks are larger than most people realize? If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more videos exploring technology, business, and the future of our world. And if you want to continue learning, check out the next video where we explore another major trend that could shape the decade ahead.